This place is an absolute ripper of a spot. I just did something very stupid. Bloody hurts. Well, g'day folks, and thanks for joining me on another walkabout. So back out here in the beautiful Aussie bush on this lovely winter's day, and I'm making my way into a pretty remote wilderness area that I haven't been to before. There's a river that runs through the bottom of it, and you're allowed to trout fish at this time of year. So it's about a 10-kilometre hike down to the bottom, and yeah, I'll just find a spot to set up camp for the weekend, and yeah, just spend the next 3 to 4 days immersing myself in this beautiful location. So we're really looking forward to it. This area did get affected by the fires at the start of the year, but it doesn't look like it got hammered too bad. There's a lot of greenery around and a fair bit of regrowth, so it's really nice to see. Anyway, let's make our way down to the river, and I think we should be in for a pretty good weekend.
Tied up with all of the waves that'll carry you. We're all friends here together.
Well, I just did something very stupid. I was just walking down this little hill here and just slipped on a rock because everything's quite wet and kind of rolled my ankle. It's the same ankle I rolled about 1.5 years ago when I was also out in the bush. Bloody hurts. It doesn't feel as bad as last time I did it. I think I might still be able to walk, but it's definitely not ideal when you go into a pretty remote location. You don't really want an injury like this to get any worse. I can't believe it's the same ankle as well. That was so stupid. Well, I couldn't really help it. I couldn't even see the rock. It was underneath all this wet grass and I just slipped straight on top of it. I thought I broke the camera as well. I fell into this little ditch here. Then I landed in all this stinging nettle and I've got all these little bumps on me now, so it's a bit of a disaster really. Oh, man, it hurts a bit, but not too bad. I think I might see how I go for a little bit more of a walk, and just see how it goes. If it hurts too much, I'm going to have to pull the pin on this trip, which is going to bloody suck. So I was really looking forward to this, but we'll just push on for a little bit longer and see how we go. So just popped a few Nurophens of ants, so hopefully that does the job of sort of stopping any inflammation. So I'm just going to take it really slow because I'm walking on for a little bit and it is a bit painful. So I'm just going to take it really slow. Probably not going to film a whole lot this walk-in, which is unfortunate. It's usually I like to film me walking into the spot, but I've got to try and be as careful as possible with this ankle. So yeah, I'll touch base a bit later. It's got a bit of bush tucker here. This is a creek sandpaper fig, and this tree is massive. This is a lot bigger than I usually find them. I'll grab the camera and show you guys a bit of a closer look. Yeah, so it gets the same from the sandpaper-like leaves. They're really quite rough. And then, yeah, these are the figs just here. So they're not quite ripe just yet, probably another month or two. I mean, they'll be nice and ripe. There's heaps on this tree. They're not the most flavoursome of figs, but there's such large quantities that it makes a pretty good bit of bush tucker. It's a really beautiful little trail down to the river. You're just following this creek bed. It's quite sort of lush and, I don't know, it's almost like a little enchanted forest down here. It's really pretty. Definitely see this didn't get affected by the fires, which is good. But yeah, anyway, the ankle's going alright. I think I'm going to push on. It's definitely sore. It's not ideal, but I think we can yeah, push through it. Well, this definitely isn't forgiving terrain for someone who's got a sprained ankle. This would be hard enough if you had 2 good legs, let alone 1. It's just so many boulders and rocks and yeah, obstacles to avoid, and I'm just so cautious about slipping over again. I almost rolled the other ankle before, almost. But yeah, I'm not even sort of halfway yet. I'm still got a fair slog to go before I want to sort of get to the area when I set up camp, but I might not make it there today. So I'm getting a little bit late in the afternoon, but we'll just push on as far as we can. And we'll see how we go. Yeah, this looks like someone's set up camp here before. It's a really beautiful spot. You're nice and elevated, so no issue of being washed away in flash floods. You've got this beautiful creek right next to you. This is a very lovely spot. Alright, so I just stopped and had a little bit bite to eat, and just to see where I was on the map. And I've probably got about 2.5 k's to go yeah, down this creek until I reach a river. It's about 2:30, so sunset's about 5:15, I think. So I've got about 3 hours. So it should be enough time to get down there and yeah, get camp set up. But it's definitely taken me longer than I expected to get this far. I think particularly with a pretty crook ankle and just being such yeah, rocky terrain, it's been pretty slow going, but I should be able to get there in time before dark. Man, how good is this spot? This place is pretty damn nice. I think the tough slog in and a sprained ankle was all worth it for something like this. This is going to be a really nice weekend, I reckon. Anyway, so it's about 3:30, so I might try and find a campsite around here, and then tomorrow I might move a little bit further up the river. So yeah, let's go find a campsite. Alright, well, even though I said I wasn't going to, I decided to walk up the river a little bit. Couldn't really find anything too great, so I've decided to come back to this little sandy beach, which is just behind me. I'm going to set up camp here for tonight, and then tomorrow I'll go for a bit more of a wander around. But time's not on my side, probably about 45 minutes till it gets dark, so I'm going to probably not film too much as I set up camp, just so I can get it all set up, get a fire going, and I'll get back to you guys then. Got the biggest knot in my shoulders. Absolute mission trying to hold this tripod up. Anyway, so the camp's set up now, so I might try and grab some firewood. Oh man, I am exhausted. What a day. Barely drunk any water today. It's nice to just finally sit down. Today has been non-stop. It definitely didn't go to plan. I didn't realise it was going to take me that long to hike in, and obviously twist my ankle. That also wasn't planned for, but it's still pretty sore. Like, yeah, it's probably not ideal to be walking on it. I probably should have called it quits and went back to the car, but man, I've been looking forward to this week for so long. I really wanted to get down to this spot. I've taken 2 days off work to come down here. The last thing I wanted to do was to turn around and go home, so decided to push on through, soldier on, and yeah, now I'm here, and I'm pretty happy about it. I'm just gonna demolish a few Nurofen or ibuprofen over the weekend, and hopefully it sorts itself out and I can get it looked at when I go back home. For you guys overseas, I always get questions about how do I find sleeping just under a tarp like this with no sort of mozzie net or anything. And just before, I saw a pretty decent spider. I'm not quite sure what spider he was. He kind of looked like a wolf spider, but he looked a little bit different. So yeah, there's probably a few running around tonight, but generally speaking, I don't worry too much. I find once it gets dark, you kind of put your blinders on and just kind of forget what's out there. So just try and not shine your torch around too much, because then you'll freak yourself out. But I've gotten used to sleeping like this. Unless there's heaps of ants or something like that, then I have a bit of an issue, but the odd spider wandering around isn't usually too much of a problem. As long as it's not like a funnel web, because they will kill you. So yeah, there's a few dodgy ones, but generally speaking, it's okay. Alright, so excuse my ugly feet, but just so you know I'm not joking, look at the size of that apple. That is huge. Compare that to the other side. That is a romper. Yeah, in hindsight I probably should have strapped it after I did it. That was a bit of a rookie mistake. But I'll strap it tonight, take some Nurofen, and hopefully it's a bit better by tomorrow. I just heard some howling. Must be some wild dogs. I have heard you get a lot of wild animals, sort of feral animals around this area, like feral cattle, goats, deer, as long as they don't come storming through here at night. Because I am kind of on a slight little trail, so hopefully yeah, they're not using that as a game trail, but we'll find out tonight. It's meant to get pretty cold, I think down to about -1 or -2 tonight, so pretty chilly. I should be, I just heard them again. They mustn't be too far away. Hopefully they keep their distance. Yeah, so it's meant to get pretty cold tonight. Nice sunny day tomorrow, but then Saturday and Sunday is meant to be, I think, 10 to 20 mils worth of rain on both days, so fair bit of rain. It's kind of making me a little bit unsure about my plans, because hiking in here, I didn't realise how much I'd be walking on that riverbed or that creek bed, and those boulders are just that smooth river stone that's just, when they get wet, they are slippery as hell. So I'm a little bit concerned now hiking back out on either Saturday or Sunday with a sprained ankle for 10 kilometres up a creek. That's yeah, slippery as hell. So I'm not quite sure what to do, to be honest. Tomorrow is meant to be nice and sunny, which is good, but I really don't want to bail tomorrow. I really wanted to try and have a good go at some fishing and just explore the area. But I'm very unsure about everything now. Because I really don't want to be sort of walking 10 kilometres up a slippery creek bed with a sprained ankle. So I'm going to sleep on it tonight, see how I go tomorrow in the morning, and make the call tomorrow. Probably take about 4 hours to hike out, so I'd have to leave here by about lunchtime so that I get back to my car before 5 o'clock. So I don't have a whole lot of time in the morning to sort of dilly-dally, especially if I want to try and go for a fish. This bloody ankle has ruined my whole weekend. I'm so disappointed. The fact that it's going to be really wet on Saturday and Sunday is kind of throwing a bit of a spanner in the works. So yeah, might just have to sleep on it tonight, and I'll make the call tomorrow morning. Alright, I think it's about time to get some food on. So just for the sweet potato, I don't have any alfoil, so I'm just going to bury this in the hot coals and sand, and yeah, that should cook it up. Yeah, so there you go. Just wipe off any ash and sand, but there's barely any sand on it. You'd be surprised actually. It's actually a really good way to cook your spuds when you don't have any alfoil. My goodness, that water is icy cold. Oh, my fingers proper hurt from that. Alright, so I'm probably going to pack down camp. I've been walking around my ankle a little bit and it hurts a fair bit, hey. So I'm probably going to pack this down, go for a little bit of a fish, and I might even bail today back home. But I'm going to sort of walk around a bit more as I fish and see how it feels, and I'll make the call by sort of lunchtime as to whether I should hike on out of here. So we'll get this packed down, we'll get the rod out, and we'll go for a quick cast. So I'm just going to go for this little rainbow trout lure today. Had some good luck with him when I was in the snowies, so I thought I might give him a go today again. Alright, for those of you guys who might be wondering why I'm sort of fishing for trout when it's the closed season, this particular section of the river is actually open to fishing because it's quite remote. They actually allow fishing all year round, but if I was to go further upstream where it's more easily accessible, then it would be closed, but this particular section is all good.
tied up with all of the waves that'll carry you. We're all friends here together. Water tap on my feet, and it warms us up inside. We are all shaky, we are all fried, and it's a good time.
Well, I might not be catching much, but man, I cannot think of a better place to cast the line in. This place is an absolute ripper of a spot. This is really beautiful. This definitely won't be the last time I'm here. I think this might be a regular spot for me. Not having any luck today. I know I'm definitely not the best fisherman in the world, but I'm trying all that I know. I'm going for the rapids and these deeper little pools, trying to find some structure. Just not much luck, unfortunately.
Like all my friends who drank all of their drink. Oh, now we're all friends here together.
Alright guys, well I think I'm going to have to pull the pin unfortunately. It's getting close to 1 o'clock, and if I don't leave now, I won't get back to my car before dark. It's about a 4-hour or about a 10k hike, so I kind of want to get a bit of a move on. It's a real shame, but my ankles just give me all sorts of pain, and I'm just worried if I stay here another day or two, I'm just going to get stuck here because they're expecting 10 to 20 mils on both Saturday and Sunday. I think it's just going to make it really difficult to hike back out. I was just talking to some people that came down the track just then, and they said that this creek is very prone to flash flooding, so I think it's probably a smart move if I go back now. And plus, like I said yesterday, walking on those boulders when it's wet, I think it's going to be a slip hazard, so I definitely don't want to make this ankle any worse. So unfortunately, this weekend didn't really plan out how I expected, but you just kind of have to roll with it sometimes and just adapt. So just means I have to come back here in the future, which I'm definitely keen to do because it's a really beautiful area. Hopefully we can catch some trout next time. Anyway, as always guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. If you're new to the channel and you like this kind of stuff, then feel free to check out my videos. If you give me a thumbs up and subscribe, that'll really help me out. So anyway, until next time guys, hooroo.